And now, another episode of MMA Gossip with your boys.
Boom, we're live, baby. MMA Gossip, Boys Are Back in Your Life, episode 41. This is crazy. We're doing this about once a week. I think we took like 2 or 3 weeks off of the pandemic, but other than that, we are fucking live. Episode 41, you know, the usual. Give us a little thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps us out, and we really fucking appreciate it. So thank you to all those that do. Also, I want to give a special shout out to Beefcake Season, our buddy Mark. He is our number one favorite subscriber, best subscriber we have, watches our videos all the time, and his YouTube channel's popping off. So check him out. It's Beefcake Season, SZN on YouTube. All of our socials at MMA X Gossip, and we're just going to get right into it. A little RDA Felder action, a little Bellator action, a little UFC this upcoming weekend, a little sprinkle of everything. So Mike's going to take us from here, and let's get it going.
All right, you let it for me, bro. RDA Felder. Let's talk about. I mean, this is how I think we all agreed this is how the fight was going to go down. He just kind of style on him for 5 rounds. You know, Felder didn't have that training camp. He's just kind of close to the weight, and he stepped up like a boss that he is. But it really was not intended for him to win. What do you think, Matt?
I think we're all spot on. I'm really happy that I didn't let my bias get in the way in this fight, and I looked at it with a clear set of eyes, because once you actually sat down and just watched tape, you kind of saw what was going to happen. Toss in that Felder was training for a triathlon, not a fight, which are two completely different things, and the short notice, and the fact that fucking RDA's been fighting the killers at 170, and he finally gets somebody that I thought he looked bigger than him in there, even though Felder has some height on him. That's the exact outcome that I expected. I didn't expect a finish from either party. All I know is whoever scored that fight for Felder needs their judging license or whatever fucking certification you get to judge fights, needs that thing pulled and thrown into a fire. Because if you scored that fight for Felder, you are just simply out of your mind, out of your fucking mind. As for what's next for RDA, I don't know.
McGregor.
Yeah, McGregor.
No.
I don't think this just because of how deep 155 is, I don't think this throws him into any title shot mix yet at all. I saw some people online talking about that, and I'm just like, he's got to get in line, because there's 5-6 people ahead of him right now that need to fight. But yeah, Chris, what are you thinking?
Yeah, no, props to RDA and props to Felder. Obviously, Felder taking on super short notice, saving the day. I saw people like Bloody Elbow complaining that, the fighters take the UFC out of a hole yet again, blah, blah, blah. But, people should jump at that fucking opportunity. Felder just made a fucking ton of money, probably, knowing him, his contract, he probably made $100K just for that fight. Let's see if it says it anywhere online, if I can find their pay. They'll pay the payouts. But anyway, that plus fight of the night, boom, there's $150,000 real quick. And he's already back in the booth doing his normal job yesterday on Contender Series. So it's like, dude, he knows what the fuck he's doing, Bloody Elbow writers. You guys keep doing your fucking thing and let Felder do his thing. Otherwise, someone else would have just swooped right in there and taken the opportunity to fight RDA and build their name off of it. So someone's got to fucking do it. So get over it. And also the fact that Paul Felder did that is giving you a job and giving you and people like us something to fucking talk about. So shut the fuck up. That was an awesome fight. I think that fight, especially on paper, was better than the original main event, Islam Makhachev. And so, yeah, props to both of them. But also, yeah, RDA says he doesn't want to fight McGregor. Then as soon as the fight's over, calls out McGregor. Stupid play, obviously not going to happen. He is definitely, though, I'm sure they'll put him in the top 10 somewhere, but RDA, his whole career, has fought fucking murderers row at 55 and 70. So I just imagine him getting another tough-ass fight and accepting it and putting on another awesome contest. He's been in the UFC for fucking literally a decade, still main eventing. So props to him.
So I just pulled up the rankings real quick just because you said that. He's actually deadlocked at 6 with Charles Oliveira, which I wouldn't mind that fight next at all. That would be a fun fight.
Yeah. I don't think he deserves to be that high up that quickly, but okay. I mean, I'll take it. Chris, I missed something. What did Bloody Elbow say about Felder?
They said that Felder bailed out the UFC. It's because they lost the main event in the whatever hour. I don't know the saying, the 10th hour.
Say something positive if they were fucking paid.
Unbelievable.
So they're saying Felder got the UFC out of a jam, basically.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah.
No, he's just doing his job. He's doing what he's paid to fucking do. He's making the sport better for everybody else. Vox Media needs to get, or whoever runs them, SB Nation needs to fucking get rid of Bloody Elbow, or get rid of whoever the editor that you always send to that chat, that liberal retard. Just honestly, just do better.
Dude, it's also funny. Like, so I was talking to Kale about this the other day, and we listened to Luke Thomas on Rogan's show, and what Luke Thomas is saying is like talking about the Ali Act, which I told you guys about a few episodes ago on our podcast. So if anyone else is curious, go check that one out. I think it was episode 39. Anyway, the Ali Act just gives fighters basically the right to see other people's pay, right? So Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko, when they fought, so the Ali Act basically says to Teofimo Lopez, okay, this is how many people were, well, hypothetically, how many people were in attendance. This is the money we made on that. This is the money we made on this. Everyone's salary is transparent, so he knows how much everyone's making. Where in the UFC, it's kind of like hush hush, like like Felder made 150 grand, RDA made 120 just for numbers' sake, and saying how like guys like Dustin Poirier, even though he has a much bigger name than 80% of boxers, he makes $500,000 for a fight, where boxers are making like $2.5 million for a fight. But there's a billion boxers making $500 to fight, which I'm sure there's a billion mixed martial artists doing the same thing. But how it's just going to be the next person in line. Like if they offer Poirier 500 grand to fight Ferguson, and he says no, I want 600 grand, they'll be like, hey, Michael Chandler, do you want 500 grand to fight Tony Ferguson? Yeah. And he's gonna be like, yes, I do. You know what I mean? So, so it's, if they're not fighting for it, which I want, obviously I want the UFC fighters to get paid more money. All MMA fighters deserve more money, but I want more fucking money. So I'm worried about myself. You know what I'm saying? Selfishly. So bloody elbow, go worry about your fucking selves, because the UFC fighters aren't fighting for you to get paid more. You know what I mean? They're giving you a fucking job. I just had to throw that out there.
No, yeah, dude.
1 sec. I'm getting a call from my fucking boss. You guys I'm not going to leave. I'm just going to be
myself. I hope, dude.
I know. Fucking. Let me just take this.
Go ahead.
No worries, dude.
All right. Well, Chris.
I know you said this last time, dude. Okay. So staying on the Felder topic, do you think that Felder and RDA was better matchup, like better on paper than Makhachev and RDA?
In terms of entertainment?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Makhachev was just going to – dude, we've seen this. We scripted this out before. RDA cannot face these bigger, stronger grapplers. He's a phenomenal grappler. But if he's outsized and the person is one up on him in the grappling department, it's just going to be one of those boring fights. He's not going to submit RDA. He's not going to knock out RDA. He's just going to kind of grind him to a decision. Like we know that's Islam's MO.
RDA's cardio looked incredible, though. He put it on for five hard rounds, first time back at 55. And Makhachev, I don't know if he could wrestle for 5 rounds. Like, we saw Khabib and RDA, and obviously Khabib just dominated RDA for 3 rounds. That was in, like, the up, Khabib's upswing, like, still. And I don't know if Makhachev could have done that for 5 rounds. So maybe RDA would have had his places. I mean, I would have definitely sprinkled, $20 on him to win at plus 450 or whatever the fuck he was. I think that was a little insane. Fighting guys like Colby Covington and fucking Usman and going 5 rounds. You know what I mean? Like, he literally fought Colby Covington for the interim belt. Like, people forget that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got basically dominated, but he took Colby Covington down at one point, which is fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? So props to him. But who else on that? And sorry, I'm just looking over here because I wanted to see if I could find the payouts, but I didn't see anything. I just see the performance of the night, obviously. And one of them was fucking Sean Strickland, unfortunately, took our boy Brendan Allen for a loss.
Yeah, man, that was really hard to watch. And after the first round, I was like, I just feel like Brendan Allen is just completely abandoning his strong suit here. And he went out there and listen, yeah, I said it before the fight. I said it last week. Go check it out, everybody. He's a punching bag, but he's a specialist on the ground. Everybody knows this. And he just evaded that game plan. I don't even know if it was the game plan at this point. How can we say
that? I hear you, man. I thought the same thing. Like I said on the podcast last week, I thought he was going to get beat up, but be able to take it, being the bigger guy, and then, kind of weigh on Strickland a little bit, and then late second, early third round, take him out. Maybe submit him, take him down, grind him out, and then I was clearly fucking wrong.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks to see because he was, he's a young kid, 24 years old, on the up and up, beat a couple of guys that – are very legit, and Kevin Holland, and so it sucks, But what about Chaos Williams' phenomenal knockout over Al Hassan was absolutely just murderous, man. Like, good for
Dude, it
him.
was like 25 seconds.
Good for him because that was the second time Al Hassan missed weight. Like,
Yeah.
get your shit.
Fuck him,
Together.
dude.
And he's got all that legal shit going on the outside with.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's
I
35
mean,
years old.
Chaos Williams, you see his quote? He says, people keep sleeping on me, and the doctor's going to have to wake them up.
Good for him, bro. Good for him.
Yeah, he's a beast. That was a wild KO, dude. Wild KO. But yeah, with Brendan Allen, like you said, he is only 24 years old, so he's got fucking time. And now is he full time at Sanford MMA? Is that his thing now? Because he did his whole camp at Henry Hoops, and that was who was in his corner. Like,
I think it was a good move for him, considering Rufus Sport doesn't really have that many bigger guys for him to like go.
Right.
I just think Rufus Sport is one of the low, like not really.
Well, you're short.
Yeah, and I hope that's his move. I just hope Sanford was like, "Yo, man, your stand up's good. Go out there and box with Strickland." Like, there's no way.
Don't do that. No way. There's no way.
So I think it's a good move. I hope he plans to keep with them for his next camp and just have a better execution next time. I think the extra week of having to keep dieting and training, opponent change, I think that really wore on him. Even though we agreed the 195-pound catch weight was good for him, I thought so. That extra week it just kind of fucked him. And Strickland's the kind of
I do too.
That'll wake up.
Look, he didn't look good. Like, you know what I mean? He really just didn't look good.
No, not at all. No. Really looked bad. All right, you want to move on to Bellator 253?
Yeah, I'll just start
spewing. Hold on, I'll pull up. Let me pull something up for you.
Mikey technology over here, putting the boys on. Mike does all with the podcast.
All right, hold on. Let me get you to Bellator, baby.
Imagine Pornhub just popped up. I would be so happy.
Oh man,
looking at your tabs, I'm checking your history, bro. Don't you worry.
All right, man. What are we talking about here?
All right, baby. This is pretty spicy. I love this, Mike. This is nice. All right, so we're back. Featherweight Grand Prix, Bellator 253. I almost said Bellator, UFC 253. Bellator 253. We have Darian Caldwell, bantamweight champ, coming in, taking on AJ McKee, 16-0. All in Bellator, which is fucking awesome. This fight is so far in the Bellator, in the Grand Prix, this is my favorite fight so far. AJ McKee, he's the stud, he's the prospect, he's the young gun. I mean, Darian Caldwell is pretty young himself, but AJ McKee, like I said, 16-0 in Bellator. Everybody wants to see him take on Patricio Pitbull, like in the finals. That is the plan. So, yeah, McKee could do it all. He's super, super well-rounded. Darian Caldwell obviously wants to take it to the mat, where I think the odds are showing that they think McKee, even if he gets taken down, he's great off his back. And if he is on his back, ends up on his back, he's going to get up and has a significant striking advantage. So going over 5 rounds, Darian Caldwell cannot maintain that over 5 rounds. And he puts himself in bad positions when he is in top position. For example, the Horiguchi fights, he lost back-to-back times. He literally put his head in for a guillotine. They said the first time was in Ryzen, so I was like, oh, it was the ropes that did it. That's why he lost. They fought in the cage, same result. So we shall see, because Darian Caldwell is an ex-champ. He has that experience. He will be basically the most experienced opponent AJ McKee's ever had. So we'll see. Super fucking excited for that one. Co-main event. Welterweight matchup. Bendo, obviously Benson Henderson needs no introduction, taking on Jason Jackson, coming out of Sanford MMA. Jason Jackson opened as the dog, but is now, a pretty big, almost 2-1 favorite in some places, and rightfully so. He's the bigger fucking boy here. Bendo hasn't really done too well at welterweight, and he lost his last fight to Michael Chandler quickly. Didn't look good. And before that, I think it was Miles Jury, but that was over a year ago. So Bendo's, he used to be Mr. like almost like Cowboy, like anyone, anywhere, anytime. And he still is, don't get me wrong. But he's definitely past his prime, like he's fighting Frankie Edgar in the UFC 150s, and here he is still doing the thing, And obviously at welterweight, taking on a bigger guy like Jason Jackson, big striker. So we'll see how that goes. I'm definitely rooting for Bendo with my heart, obviously, but with my head, I think that Jason Jackson's going to take this one. Looking down, we got Joey Davis taking on Bobby Lee. Joey Davis was a Division II All-American wrestler. I got to pull his exact record. I think he was somewhere like 133-0
Nasty.
I said to Mike earlier today, he's like 150-0, and I literally was not lying. 133-0, I think he's only one of like 3 or 4 guys to ever do that. Although he's at Division II, I mean, if he was a wrestler at Division I, he's still going to be an elite level Division I wrestler with a record like that. Bellator signed him straight out of college, if not while he was still in college. He's about our age. I think he's 26. He's a big boy. You know, he's been cutting weight his whole life, so he knows what the fuck he's doing. He's 7-0, taking on Bobby Lee, who's 12-4, as you guys can see on the screen, because Mike is a fucking technology pimp. But Joey Davis is really hyped. Bellator loves him. He's 7-0. All wins are in Bellator. And I think 4 or maybe 5 of his wins are by KO, so you know that he's got the wrestling background, and he loves to throw those hands. So we'll see. He's a pretty big favorite here, and I'm excited for that fight. Going down, we got Jeremy Kennedy taking on Matt Bassetti, 2 ex-UFC veterans in this one. Jeremy Kennedy, I think, was like 3-0 in the UFC, and then he took on Alexander Volkanovski and obviously fucking lost. But he was 3-1. So he was 3-0, lost to Volkanovski, cut from the UFC. So I mean, he was, you know, a pretty hype prospect taking on Volkanovski. He was another hype prospect, and, you know, he just hit at crossroads and lost. Taking on Matt Bassetti, another ex-UFC vet who just couldn't really ever find his way. So I'd see Jeremy Kennedy cruising to victory here. Keith Lee, 7-3, taking on Rafion Stotts. We were talking about Rufus Sport. Rafion Stotts comes out of Rufus Sport. He's one of the staples there. Taking on Keith Lee, who, yes, is the brother of Kevin Lee. Keith Lee started off his career a little rough. Started off 3-3. Now he's improved his record to 7-3. I think he's 2 or 3-0 in Bellator. But I think he's going to get back on the losing side here. I think Rafion Stotts is just going to be his wrestling is going to be too strong. It's going to be a little too big. He's just going to overpower Keith Lee here and, again, cruise to a W. Then we got Baby Slice, Kevin Ferguson Jr., 3-2, which is obviously underwhelming, taking on Kahim Murray. I would be lying if I told you I know anything at all about Kahim Murray, who is 3-3 in MMA. Baby Slice here, obviously they want him to win. He's got big power just like his dad, and he is coming to his own. You know, he got rushed a little bit being that his dad is fucking Kimbo Slice. But again, Kimbo Slice was never a great mixed martial artist. He just had a big fucking name, and Baby Slice is following right in his footsteps. He's actually not doing too bad. He was one of the main training partners of AJ McKee, his Antonio McKee, AJ's dad, was his main coach. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. And then going down the card here is not too much else really of note on this, except we have J.J. Wilson fighting at featherweight, 6-0. That is Matt and my least favorite fighter in the entire world. He is the fighter that lost us the split decision over Taiwan Claxton. When I had that 4-fight parlay going for like a few $100, I bet like $20 to win like nearly 1,000. I got fucked in the split decision. It was J.J. Wilson that fucking did me dirty. But hey, even the fact that it was close and he went to a split decision over Taiwan Claxton says something about him. He's 6-0, and I think Bellator, now that he got that little win, I think Bellator might try to give him that little push. So we'll fucking see. Super excited about this one. It's a Thursday night. I might even have to miss jiu-jitsu for this one, unlike I did last week. I came back and just caught the main event. I watched all the prelims, missed the entire main card right until the main event. I think this time I cannot miss an AJ McKee fight. And I'm excited to see Jason Jackson do his thing too. So we'll see, boys. That is your Chrissy Bellator 253 report.
Word, my man. You're the man. All right, let's get right.
I love Bellator, dude. I think MMA is so unique, and Bellator, like everyone almost is like, oh, Bellator sucks because of this, because people say it sucks because it's not the UFC. I think it's cool that it's so fucking just different, and it is like a shit show like that. But MMA in general is a shit show. Like that's kind of the point. You know what I mean? And Bellator embodies that to the fullest, and I fucking love it.
Dude, it's rubbing off on me. I was one of those guys like a year ago. I was like, I just can't get on this Bellator. I would watch it, but just be like, bro, this is a circus. And don't get me wrong, there's still nights where it is a circus, but
dude, that's the best part.
Last Thursday, the fights were fire.
Awesome, dude. And it's because Scott Coker knows what the fuck he's doing. He built Strikeforce, you know? So he knows what the fuck he's doing. So it did suck in the beginning because you're getting guys, you know, Roy Nelson, Frank Mir, Matt Mitrione. Like, no one wants to see these guys fight anymore. Mm-hmm. But what they did was they got guys past their prime. For people like me, I don't want to fucking see that. And then who's Saturday night? Here I fucking am. You know what I mean? Watching the fight. And then I got to know these guys, and then they get guys like AJ McKee and Aaron Pico and all these guys, Darion Caldwell, and just guys coming up, and they built a fucking name for themselves. Now they have an awesome roster. I mean, granted, slow the roll on them saying they have a better roster than the UFC. That's clearly not true. But you have guys like Michael Chandler, multiple-time Bellator lightweight champion, first fight in the UFC, and he's the backup in a title fight in the UFC, taking on potentially the greatest fighter of all time. So it's like, give them their fucking due, but don't overdo it.
Word, my man. All right, let's hop over to 255, airing this Saturday at the Apex Center on pay-per-view. Got a relatively weak card for a pay-per-view, but there are a couple of key matchups that should prove to be entertaining. I think Alan Jouban versus Jared Gooden is one of those low-key fights that are actually solid. I just think that Alan Jouban's got that experience, the striking, and Jared Gooden kind of strikes me as one of those guys that's just – I'm not sure if he's UFC caliber. I've seen a lot of his fights. He's fought like 8 times in the past year and a half. Don't really see it. Got Dalby going up against Danny Rodriguez. We could actually talk about this one real quick. Dude, Dalby sucks. Like, let's be real. Rodriguez is a late notice replacement, but he does sit around like a minus 350, and I get it. I just think the line is a little wide. If Dalby chooses to wrestle, which he sucks at that too. But if Danny Rodriguez can, I don't know. He's still relatively green in my opinion. His world is the striking, but that should prove to be a pretty interesting matchup. And
fun fact, Mike, sorry to cut you off. On Nicholas Dalby, I DM'd him on Twitter like 2 years ago. He was fighting in Cage Wars. He had just come off that performance, crazy bloody fight. So I messaged him the night before his fight. It's Friday night. I'm sitting down watching TV. I think Bellator had been on, and I DM him on Twitter, and I'm like, hey man, good luck. Be rooting for you tomorrow. Good luck. And he messages me, hey, my fight's on Saturday. Thanks, with a smiley face. I was like, I was like, well, today's Friday.
Dude, the guy's a strange cat. I mean, whatever, dude.
Okay.
All right, Matt, Chris, tell me why Antonina Shevchenko is going to beat the shit out of Ariane Lipski.
Dude, I'm scared, but I feel that Antonina. So first of all, one thing I want to mention on this is that Antonina and Valentina are the first ever sisters to fight on the same card in the UFC, and I think any major MMA promotion in general, ever. Obviously brothers have. AJ McKee and his dad fought on the same card, which is fucking nuts in Bellator. But excuse me, I got the hiccups right now. Antonina Shevchenko is the Walmart version of her sister. She's just clearly the not as good version of Valentina, but she is good everywhere. I think she's gonna have a clear, was her last fight Caitlin Chukagian?
Yeah.
Or did she win one after that?
No, it was Caitlin.
That was her last force. So I think, she got dominated on the ground, really dominated on the ground. But Caitlin Chukagian, I think, is a brown belt under John Danaher. So no fucking problem with that. Antonina's got good striking and has a good ground game. She just clearly got out-grappled by Caitlin Chukagian. And I think that Caitlin, who is a striker, used her ground game super effectively against Shevchenko, because not that she didn't want to stand on the feet, but she knew it was definitely fucking risky. So I think that here Antonina has a clear striking advantage over Ariane Lipski, because I've counted Lipski out way too many times. Let me just say that straight out. But I think that on the ground she'll be right on the same level, if not better. So I just see her being super. The Shevchenko sisters are mixed martial artists. That is their life. That is what they do. And I think that she's just going to pull out the W. I think she's just going to be a little bit better everywhere and just be too much for Lipski to handle.
Word, man. He did it perfectly. People underestimate how good of a striker Shevchenko is. If you look up her stats, they're very, very good in terms of striking efficiency, strikes absorbed, stuff like that. And Ariane Lipski on the other side is pretty awful. She fought Molly McCann and got outstruck handily by Molly Meatball McCann. That just says everything you need to know about it. And she's not going to – I don't think her wrestling is nearly as good as Chukagian is to bring it to the ground. So – got to pick Shevchenko here. Got Joaquin Buckley. UFC's trying to put him on, put a little more, highlight next to his name. Jordan Wright, don't be confused by that 11-0. 11 of those fights were against, soccer dads and
literally no one. Yeah.
Taco truck workers or just random dudes. Brandon Moreno, Royval. Here we go. Good fight. I got Moreno here. I think he wins 9 times out of 10. And the only time he loses is when Roy Val goes for like a flying Kimura, scissor, heel hook, twister. You know, like that's the only time he's going to win this fight. Moreno is a savage. He's beaten and fought the best of the division, and Roy Val is getting that rub because he's been so entertaining in his past 2 fights. But this is where it ends. I'm so confident in Moreno to get this W.
Dude, I'm going to go back to the past 2 fights again real quick. Joachim Buckley and Jordan Wright. The one thing I do want to mention, Buckley's an ex-welterweight coming up to middleweight. Well, look at the fucking size of that dude. I do not mean this in any way. He is a gorilla, dude. His chest, he is fucking humongous. Don't get me wrong. But he is an ex-welterweight fighting at, he's a full-size middleweight, where Jordan Wright is a light heavyweight coming down to 185. So, it's like a weird crossroads where maybe Jordan Wright weighs on it. Maybe he used that wrestling and can fucking take Buckley down, because Buckley has definitely shown wrestling weakness. Granted, he's lost to guys like fucking Logan Storley, who is the best of the best wrestler. But I'm just saying, just wanted to throw that out there. It's definitely worth, a plus whatever he is, plus 250 or more sprinkle for sure. Brandon Moreno and Roy Val, like, everyone's all over Roy Val. And dude, we picked him in his last couple of fights. I love him. I think he's super entertaining. He's great to watch. I love it. But I think that the scrap, like, everyone, his scrappiness, his toughness, and his like excitingness, his durability, all that comes into play. But like, name someone grittier, scrappier, and fucking more durable than Brandon Moreno. You know what I mean? He's got that fucking Mexican. He's Mexican, so that says it right there. He's tough as fuck. He can take a shot, and he's good everywhere. He is a mixed martial artist. He's good on the ground, good on the feet. Got some wild submissions, quick submissions, late finishes. He could do it all. I'm all over Brandon Moreno. I think he should be fighting for the belt. That's just fucking me. And I know Matt, if he wasn't talking to his fucking daddy over there, and I'm like kidding, his boss, that he would be on my side and agree with us as well. So yeah, I think that I'm all over Moreno here, 100%.
All right, Chris, I already know you're going to make this your pick. Why are you picking Shogun over Craig here?
I mean, dude, they already fought once, and we saw the way that went. But I just think that Shogun never dies. Like, he's literally just seems like he's still fucking got it somewhat. He's been hanging in there. I remember it was like a year ago, Shogun was on a fucking – I want to pull this up just so I don't fucking say it wrong, but he was on a little bit of a run,
right here.
And people were saying, yeah, look. So he won his last 2 fights. He was a little bit of a run. He was on a slow patch. Everyone counted him out. Won in a little bit of a run. Beat fucking Lil Nog, Corey Anderson, Jean Vellante, which is okay, whatever. And then they put him against Anthony Smith. They're like, if he beat Anthony Smith, he was literally going to like fight for the fucking belt. You know what I mean? So it's like, that wasn't that long ago, 2 years ago. Lost Anthony Smith, whatever, and then comes back and knocks out Tyson Pedro, who's fucking humongous. You know what I mean? It's like, and then he beat Little Nog again in this last fight in their trilogy. So it's like, I just feel like you can never count him out. And he, Shogun is still doing the damn thing. You know what I mean? From the Pride days to now. So not only can you not count out in a fight, you can't count him out in his career. And Paul Craig, you can easily fucking count out. I feel like Paul Craig has no heart. He relies way too heavily on being able to catch a submission. He's chinny, and I just feel like, they fought already. Shogun does good in rematches and in trilogy. I just feel like he could – I don't know. It's just – we saw how this play out already, and I think that with what we saw, I have full confidence in Shogun to pull out a win here. Like, it's just Paul Craig is not reliable at all. What is it, Bear Jew? That's his nickname, right? Yeah. He's not reliable at all. He has no heart, and I just think that, he folds too easily.
I feel you. I'm picking Shogun as well, just to let you know, because I just think that Craig's fight IQ is just so bad.
So bad. He relies way too heavily on being able to catch a submission, and when he doesn't, he loses.
Shogun knows how. He's got that veteran savvy to just know how to get that win. So I do think there's a little bit of value there. All right, moving on. We're just talking about Chukagian here. I think it's too quick of a turnaround after the Andrade loss. And I just think Calvillo's hitting her stride right now. She never looked better than she did against Jessica Ai for 5 rounds. She held that cardio up, which a lot of people were kind of, I don't want to say like downing on her, but like that was kind of like her thing. Like, she kind of doesn't have a gas tank, but she put it on for 5 rounds against Ai. And I'm not saying Ai is anything special, but neither is Caitlin Chukagian at this point in her career. And she was just talking about retirement not long ago, quick turnaround after Andrade, minus 250 on Calvillo. I think there's a reason there. I think she wins.
You just think she just grinds it out?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a 3-round decision.
Yeah, I would honestly. This is a fight I would like to see for 5 rounds. I would watch these girls headline a card 100% rather than Jessica I. That's for fucking sure. You know what I mean? And yeah, Jessica I was clearly bigger than Calvillo, and Calvillo was able to grind her out with that size over 5 rounds. I think Chookagian could be a play here. I do think that Calvillo wins. I honestly let the fan of Chookagian in me way too much. Like I love Blonde Fighter, and I followed her for a while. I think I found her because of Weidman a while ago, and I just kind of fucking liked her. And I seen her fight live at least twice, and she won both times I saw her fight live. I was like, wow, this girl's fucking awesome. But I just feel like she, we saw her get thoroughly dominated on the ground by Shevchenko, but Shevchenko's a whole nother level. Like, and I think, Calvillo coming up, maybe Chookagian will be able to, if she does get taken down, which I think she's going to, and I think she will be on her back. I think she'll be able to get up, and she's got much better striking than Calvillo. So I think it could be worth an underdog play for sure. And I know this breaks Matt's heart, but I will be rooting for Chookagian. But I do think Calvillo fucking could pull this out. And if she does, then her next fight's fucking Shevchenko, which is, I think the winner of this fight should fight Shevchenko. No, because Chookagian just lost the last fight. Anyway, I think if Calvillo wins, she's next in line for Shevchenko, and then she'll be right back down at the bottom of the totem pole.
Absolutely.
I don't see any way on earth she could beat Valentina. There's yeah.
No one's beating Valentina, dude.
No. But you need to be I think the only way you beat Shevchenko is, a flash. No, I'm saying it's obviously hard to fucking flash KO a woman, but put her out or Imanari roll and just there's no way you're going to go win a decision over her. She went to a decision and I literally think she beat Amanda Nunes in the rematch. And Valentina in her last fight weighed in, I think, 1.5 pounds under the weight limit. So she's you know what I mean? If she did an extreme cut, she might be able to make fucking strawweight. You know what I'm saying? And she's going fucking 5 rounds with Nunes, who's fighting at 145 for Christ's sake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, yeah, so I don't see how anyone's going to beat Shevchenko because she's better on the ground than Calvillo is. And, striking, it looks like 2 different fucking universes apart. So I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm just saying.
Mike Perry. First
Matt's off the phone just in time for his favorite fighter.
Hurry up, Matt. He might have us on mute right now. He's not even looking at us. But I guess I'm only one on Tim's means here because I do think he's the better fighter, but he's chinny. He's been melted before. He's old. He has ankle broken by Nico Price. I just think, and then Mike Perry's coming out here. He's, probably eating like an asshole, hanging out with his pregnant girlfriend, not getting any real training in, but I get why he's the favorite. I get why you and Matt are picking Perry, and you're convincing me every single day, little by little, to not pick Tim Means. But what's your take here?
Dude, so I just wanted to look because I remember when he fought. I wanted to see the guys Hong Yu Lim on UFC 202 against McGregor's card versus the Nate Diaz rematch. I remember he came out and he did at the weigh-ins. He stuck his hand out to shake the dude's hand. And he's like, you boy. You remember that whole thing? And then Alex Nicholson, who's in his corner, said he can't even see you because he's Asian. And then that became the whole race thing. And Mike Perry came in. It was like, Jesus fucking Christ, this is what's in the UFC. He was 8-0. After that fights Danny Roberts and goes 9-0. Right now, Mike Perry is 14-6. So he's been through the fucking ringer in the UFC. He lost his next fight to Alan Jouban, who's fighting on this card. Then he fucking beat the shit out of Jake Ellenberger, beats Alex Reyes, which is nothing. Ponzinibbio mops him up. Then he loses to Poopy Max Griffin. Everyone's kind of like, oh, he sucks. Beats Felder by a split decision. Felder broke his arm in the first round and took the fight on short notice up a weight class. So, again, Felder, good for fucking you. You're the man. Then gets the shit beat out of him by Cowboy and gets submitted instantly. Beats Cowboy Oliveira, who hasn't beat Cowboy Oliveira. And then Vicente Luque puts his nose on literally the side of his head. Jeff blasts him with the head kick, and then he beats Mickey Gall. So, he's been through the ringer, and he's fought some tough motherfuckers. And That's all Perry's there to do is fucking go in there, throw some hammers, fight some tough motherfuckers, and see who comes out standing. And I just think that if he does go in there, throw some hammers, and see who's still standing at the end, I think Tim Means isn't going to be standing at the end. I think that Mike Perry is going to fucking finish Tim Means, and I think it'll be a little bit later in the fight. With that being said, I think Mike Perry has already reached his ceiling. He's not going anywhere. I get what he's doing with this whole my girlfriend's in my corner bullshit and all that. Good for fucking him, whatever. But, like, he's got guys like, his old coach. I'm trying to think of his name. I'll think of it in this. Julian and Alex Nicholson. I know Alex Nicholson is the best fighter in the world, but I would much rather have Alex Nicholson, who's been in 10,000 fights, and my coach in my corner than my pregnant girlfriend and my best friend. Like, there is times when you need fucking technical advice. You need the ice pack at certain places. You need things like that. You know what I mean? Little things that you're not seeing. Like, Aaron Pico the other day, Six Gun Gibson, perfect example. You could hear Aaron Pico at the fight with the cameras and all the fucking mics in his face, and he says to Six Gun Gibson, he goes, "You called it. You said 11, and I just fucking threw it." And he laid him out. Like, Pico did not see that. His coach is screaming a number. Pico does exactly that, and 1 second later wins by brutal knockout. You need that in your corner. Like, I get what you're doing, Mike Perry, but you've already reached your ceiling. You're not getting any fucking better. You are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're 3-5 in your last 8 in the UFC, and it's against mediocre competition. Aside from, Cerrone over the hill, Felder up a weight class 1 day notice, and then Ponzio beat the shit out of you. You know what I mean? Jeff Neal beat the shit out of you. Vicente Luque beat the shit out of you. You know what I mean? So it's like, you're not getting any better. I'm sorry, I have to go on this Mike Perry rant because he's going off on Instagram, calling people out. Like, dude, I get what you're doing. I totally understand. Like, fuck everyone. Good for you, but get better. You have no ground game whatsoever. And by hitting pads with your pregnant girlfriend, you're not going to develop one. And later in your career now, where the jokes and he's super entertaining. Like, here I am talking about him, and I love it. But if he gets knocked out 2 more times in a row and you're out of the UFC, no one cares. You know what I mean? And the way he's blowing money and blowing all this, he's going to end up down a fucking dark road. And I don't want to see that with Mike Perry because he is entertaining. So if he got a little bit better, he could do fucking big, big things. I'd love to see him do that.
I feel you on that, brother. All right, we got much to say about Valentina and Maya other than the fact that she's probably just going to roll here and just look as good as she's ever done.
So based on what I said before, do you see any path to victory for Jennifer Maya?
For Maya? No. No.
First round knockout, Maya.
Back. Maddie's back.
Jesus Christ. I apologize to you guys and my listeners. I couldn't ignore that call, though.
We just talked about your favorite fighter, Mike Perry.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Cynthia Calvillo.
Well, I said that too. Was going to say, true or false, Matt, there was a point in time where you were a big, big, big Mike Perry fan.
Still am.
Good for you, dude. So on the card,
I think he's good for the sport. He's just one of those guys that's entertaining as fuck, but he's not going anywhere. But it's good to have someone like him.
Absolutely. That's what I was trying to say in a much nicer way. Yeah. You put it more eloquently. Real quick on your screen, 8, 9, 10, 11. Before we get to the main event, who do you got? Give us a quick rundown.
Jesus. All right. I'll start with obviously the Shogun fight. I'm gonna go Shogun, Cynthia, Perry, Shevchenko.
That's exactly what I said. Mike just
said. Obviously Figueiredo, but I do want to note that I think that Moreno should be fighting him, not Alex Perez.
I said that, and I said that you agree with me.
Yeah. And I'm all over Moreno in his fight, and I wish that was on the main card too, instead of fucking Paul Craig.
Who is the main event? It has to be Moreno.
Moreno. It's bullshit.
That's what I'm saying. No, but that's good because he's going to get more views. That, you know what I mean? Like, that's the point where they're like, this is a sick fight. Watch the pay-per-view now. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know.
Yeah. Plus, they would always give a legend like Shogun that nod, just out of respect.
Of course, dude. And Mike Perry, because they know someone's going to get knocked out. But, dude, so, all right, Matt, take us away, dude. Let's hear your voice. You want to hear it? Main event.
I'm all over Figueiredo here. Like I just said, I don't even think – I'm not doubting Alex Perez. I feel bad. I'm like, oh, he doesn't belong here. Like, I think it should be Moreno. But I think Mike actually said it earlier in the week or late last week. I don't think anyone's going to beat him at this weight class. I mean, that's in this weight class right now. If Cody comes back, I might change my opinion a little bit. I know both of you disagree with me there, but I see Figgy, absolutely piecing him up on the feet and probably getting the finish inside 2 rounds for sure.
Dude, I think that Garbrandt would have got lit up.
Probably, but I'm not.
This card would look sick with Garbrandt's name in the headliner. I can't lie.
Right? That's what I'm saying. I wish so bad. Well, like, I don't know. I think that do you know why the UFC picked Perez? Like,
maybe because MMA math, he beat Formiga. No, I'm only kidding. That's the only fucking.
because before that he's beaten like literally nobody, bro. He's beaten, like Mark De La Rosa and fucking.
He got finished by Joey B.
Yeah, and finished by Joey B. Like, but his wins suck. It's his only notable win is really Formiga. I mean, Espinosa's like meh. He's like win loss.
I really don't know why, to be honest with you. I was thinking about that the other day. I really don't know. Like, it feels like it was the other day he went to a fucking decision with Eric Shelton. You know what I mean?
Eric Shelton.
Another tough guy, but
then you look on the other side. You want to look at Moreno. I know I keep going back to him, but he also beat Formiga. He beat Kara France, which I think is more impressive than anybody that Perez has beaten for sure. And then, I mean, I know he lost to like Pantoja and shit, but
if I put this video on the group chat, am I going to see a dick?
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. That's why they're saying to send it to Sammy. That girl 100% has a penis. It actually, never mind. I'm not going to say who it looks like. It's going to say it looks like Gabby Garcia.
Oh, that's awesome. I love. We're not politically correct here, and we don't care about your feelings.
There's nothing fun about being politically correct. Literally nothing.
No one should be politically correct. That's just like that sounds like a horrible dystopian bullshit.
Matt, show it to the camera. We'll get our first video pulled off YouTube.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think I can show it to the camera.
No,
I really think what?
It would get pulled off YouTube
Immediately.
But Mike, all right, take it away, Mike. What you got for us?
Let's get it. I hope you guys don't think this is lame, but whatever. The name of the segment is name. Don't look at the screen. Don't look at the screen.
Fuck you, Mike.
I'm covering it. I swear to God.
All right, we're good. Name that
Mike,
fighter.
you're a man, dude.
I'm going to show you a part of their body, and you're going to have to compete against each other to see who the fighter is. You have to guess who.
I'm gonna be honest. I did see the first one by accident.
Okay.
Did you? I did not.
First one's a warm up. Ready?
Let me see if I get it then. Tony Ferguson.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Chris, Matt, you got to say it fast. It is Tony.
Oh, I didn't want to say it because I saw it by accident.
All right, ready?
Yeah. Frank Mir.
Matt, side 1-1.
God, Frank Mir. That was steroid era Frank Mir.
Cub Swanson.
2-1, Chris, baby.
Oh, that was the same time. I like this. Most noticeable tattoos.
Holly Holm.
Yep. Just wait for the last one. It's hilarious.
Waller?
Yeah, Waller. It's 3-2. Robbie.
Aldo.
Yep, Aldo.
Fuck, yeah. The tattoo.
I saw Petnaris' arm in the corner, too. Oh, Bader.
The last one takes the cake, though, okay? So whoever gets this last one wins it all.
Random Marcos.
That's awesome, dude. That's amazing.
Of all pickers, too.
That's good shit.
Dude, me and McKee still to this day send each other. Mike, that was awesome, dude. You're a beast. We gotta start doing. Matt, me and you are due, bro. I'm gonna do something like this for next week. Now that we know Mike is our new technology pimp and knows how to share his screen, boys and girls, whoever's watching this, we are slacking in the technology department. So help us fucking out. Also in the sponsors department, help the fucking boys out.
Yes, please.
We could use it. Oh, by the way, I got my new headphones, and I'm not even trying to be, dude, my ears hurt from jiu-jitsu. Like, dude, I laid on my pillow. Like, you know when you, like, when you're in bed and you, like, move real quick? I did that, and I, like, shot up in pain. My ear, like, in here just hurts. It's, like, tender. So I didn't put the headphones on today. But, yeah, I got the other ones, the ones we originally bought for, like, the studio, and they're fucking way better. They're better than my Beats that are falling apart, at least.
It's so fun. Those for like $50.
Yeah, they work amazingly, you know.
No, yeah, they were nice headphones.
But boys, that was awesome, Mike. That was really good, dude. I'm happy with that. That was fucking fun.
Mike, what is that? Mike, what is that shirt?
It's a giraffe kissing another giraffe. Don't judge me.
I want to do one
politically correct shirt for school.
I'm gonna do something with tattoos next week, because you know I'm always looking at fighters' tattoos. So I'll maybe start studying now. Ooh, boys.
Don't put Darren Elkin's dumbass tattoo in there.
I was thinking about putting Elkins on this slideshow. That's
Damage.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember the first time my dad saw it, my dad was like, what the fuck? I love how it looks like it has stitches around the whole thing. Like, you think when he was getting that done, the tattoo artist was like, dude, you're positive. Like, this is what you want.
Yeah, the tattoo artist probably questioned whether he wanted to be a tattoo artist anymore.
When are you going to get one, Matt? What the fuck?
I don't know, dude. Honestly,
Dude, that's incredible.
it's so funny.
Also, dude, when you were showing those fighters, like, the tattoos to me are their giveaway. You know what I mean? Like, Bader has such identifiable tattoos. Aldo with his tattoo right here, like, it's just like, that was the giveaway to me. And the shorts, the UFC shorts, like, instantly I knew, okay, Brazil, who has that fight, who's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you just kind of putting things, your brain is putting it together until it calculates the fucking answer. Yeah. It happens quick, man. We think about it. Everybody's got such a unique body type.
Yeah.
Everyone, like, literally.
I would, like, again, I'm not technology savvy at all, but I wonder if you could, like, you know, if you could crop out a fighter, like, with his stance or something. Because, again, like, I remember Rogan says –
like a silhouette?
Yeah, like a silhouette. Like, if you had, a curtain and a fighter came out with their stance, we could fucking tell you who that is.
Mm-hmm.
Based on, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's a good one. If somebody, some technology whiz to make, like, people's entrance into the octagon, like a silhouette, that would be swaggy.
Frankie Edgar sprinting.
Yep.
It could be Frankie Edgar or Cormier, but Frankie Edgar would be this big, Cormier would be this big.
Yeah.
But other than that, boys, what else? Matt, we ran through Bellator. We did UFC last week, UFC this week. So Bellator's up to 253, UFC 255.
I'm hammering McKee.
Yeah, I'm
hard.
as well. I mean, he's a pretty big favorite, but I think it's rightfully so.
Was he 265?
Is that big now?
I don't know. All I know is 265 is, oh my God, 335. Yeah, that's a lot.
What?
Jesus Christ. You almost have to bet Caldwell just because.
No.
That goes, I'm all over McKee. I'm going to have to bet Caldwell just because.
I didn't realize how big the line was. Like, Caldwell's no slouch.
Do you have any bets in yet for Bellator, Matt, that you want to mention to the people? Any Bellator bets or UFC bets already in that you want to mention for the people?
Well, I already have money on McKee, but I think that's going to be my only bet, though. Is McKee. I'm really confident in that. The line is it's a lot, but I'm probably going to take. Oh, and Jason Jackson. Sorry, forgot at the look. I bet Jason Jackson when Mike asked me, and I was like, "Who is that?" I was like, "Oh, it's the guy that beat up on shitty Jordan Mean."
He asked,
and I bet him immediately.
Yeah. Well, how'd you do on whatchamacallit last night, Mike? Contender Series.
plus $16, but
hey,
wins
plus $16. That's what you love to see.
Yeah, it's free lunch.
Yep.
Yeah, literally. Matt, how'd you do?
I did well too. I told Mike's one pick, the guy that just fake nut shots for a whole round, and then that heavyweight fight actually took the over because he was plus 200 and that hit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
The heavyweight fight that wasn't really a heavyweight fight.
Yeah, dude, the one dude was so small.
That was the worst fight. He's a 185er and he weighed in at 209. Come on.
Well, the funny thing though is he's a prodigy of the Diaz brothers, and then he weighed in at 209. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, on purpose.
Yeah, rightfully so.
I'm just looking at odds right now, and I was just reading quick, and Wu Yanan, or however you say her name. I literally accidentally read her name as Wuhan. The girl that's fighting Beth Kahaya.
On that note,
They say how they're
see y'all next week, everybody. Enjoy the fights.